Food deserts are a rising issue in America's urban areas. Traditionally, urban cities had many food markets and different places to get fresh produce. Today, individuals are faced with the issue that fresh produce simply isn't easily accessible. A food desert occurs when an individual has to travel long distances to get fresh fruit and vegetables, if they are available at all. According to the USDA, food deserts are defined by low access to the nearest supermarket, and this can be defined several ways based on the amount of access people have to vehicles. To help understand what food deserts are, it also helps to know what causes them. Although there are many things that contribute to food deserts, the bottom line is that there aren't enough grocery stores in urban areas, or stores that have fresh produce. As larger supermarkets continue to grow, smaller food markets that once provided food for impoverished neighborhoods are being put out of business. This increases the distance individuals may have to travel to the next closest grocery store. An AP analysis found that many new supermarkets are not being built in the food desert areas that need them. Another factor is independent transport to supermarkets. If public transport is not widely accessible, then neither are supermarkets. According to the USDA, almost 13% of households in the U.S. were not food secure in 2015. 5% of these households were extremely food insecure. Many of these households are low income. This means that poor neighborhoods are at an unfair advantage when it comes to obtaining fresh food. Those who were in the percentile of extremely food insecure saw a reduced intake of food and changed their eating habits dramatically. This shows just how profound an effect food security can have on one's lifestyle. The effects of food deserts are also very much related to our health. Such factors can include access to supermarkets, education, socioeconomic status, and preferences for food. There have been numerous studies that examine the relationship between food access, dietary intake, and obesity. Most of the studies have found that better access to supermarkets is linked to a healthier diet and less risk of chronic diseases. Many of us might think that the solution would be fairly simple then. Why not just open more supermarkets in food desert areas? A Chicago Tribune article discussed one of the goals of Michelle Obama's healthy eating campaign was to open more grocery and convenience stores in food insecure neighborhoods. But they were not getting the results that they hoped for because there were many factors that determine the success of a supermarket. The same article discussed that proximity to a supermarket and food culture play important roles. For some people, access to fresh food requires taking significant time and energy out of their day. For some, the opportunity cost is too high. Urban farming is a potential solution to food deserts. It is an opportunity to create a sustainable solution to many of the negative impacts of food deserts and hopefully eradicate food deserts themselves. It is an opportunity to ensure food security, produce healthy food, and provide a learning opportunity. Urban farming is more productive than traditional farming. In some vertical systems, one can produce as much as 100 times more food than regular farming per square foot, and it's more sustainable. Urban farming systems often show a significant amount of savings in sectors such as water, power, and space use, and it makes fresh food more accessible. There are various approaches to urban farming, and systems can drastically range in design, scale, and cost. According to an organization known as Green Grow, urban farming has come to be generally recognized as growing or producing food in a city or heavily populated town. In cities such as Chicago or Seattle, this takes the form of community gardens. Urban agriculture provides an array of opportunities that can make its implementation beneficial in a variety of environments and conditions. Models include vertical, rooftop, hydroponic, and community gardening. These models can be integrated on a household, community, or on a citywide basis. Beginning on a household level, the most common and most often efficient model is based on vertical gardening. Vertical growing systems, as with many urban farming models, are consistent and capable of production indoors. This eliminates factors of weather or environment that impede growth along with minimal overhead. This particular system, along with many others, are credited for maximum crop yield and the ability to grow a wide range of crops within the same system. On a slightly larger scale, there are many opportunities for successful urban agriculture systems within community gardens, one of the most direct solutions to the issue of food deserts. A more practical solution, and one that any member of a community can be involved in, is community gardens. Urban and suburban areas have many unused spaces that are often overlooked as sites for food production, such as the grass along street medians and sidewalks. These areas may seem small, but people such as Ron Finley in southern Los Angeles are using these spaces to plant fruits and vegetables to help combat the food deserts there. Community gardens provide enough produce to feed themselves year-round, and they also sell excess produce to local farmers markets. Of course, not everyone has the time or resources to produce such an extensive garden, but if the techniques they develop for such efficient gardening could be implemented on a manageable scale in more homes, it could have a large impact on food deserts. An area of urban agriculture that has yet to be widely explored is the in-home solutions. A potentially promising form of home agriculture are hydroponic and aeroponic systems, both of which require little to no soil. Instead, nutrient-rich water is used to sustain the plants, where the roots are either submerged in the case of hydroponics or periodically misted in the case of aeroponics. According to research conducted by NASA, aeroponic systems reduce water usage by 98%, fertilizer usage by 60%, and pesticide usage by 100%, all while maximizing crop yields. So why isn't this more widespread as a solution to food deserts? Currently, it is the availability and cost of such systems. There are only a handful of aeroponic companies selling complete systems, such as the Tower Garden, but their systems start at $550. The systems are actually fairly simple and can be built for under $100, but this requires access to certain tools, materials, and knowledge, and these are the main limiting factors. In addition to these smaller scale operations, urban agriculture is also being already practiced on a fairly large scale in Chicago. There are over 800 growing sites in the Chicago area, and the Pullman neighborhood of Chicago's South Side is home to one of the world's largest rooftop greenhouses. At 75,000 square feet, this partnership between Gotham Greens and Method provides fresh produce year-round to the Chicagoland area and even to the surrounding states. So, what can you do to get involved in urban agriculture and encourage its adoption in your community? First, you can get educated. See if your community offers workshops or classes on urban agriculture. If this isn't available, you can always do your own research online on websites such as the USDA. Once you've got the knowledge you need, you can start gardening in your backyard and home. Start small, do your research, and figure out what you have time and capability to grow. And if you want to get involved in something bigger, you can get involved with community gardens in your own city. Even Champaign-Urbana has opportunities where you can get involved at places such as Prosperity Gardens in Champaign. In conclusion, we believe that urban agriculture can help mitigate the effects and presence of food deserts in urban areas. Doing this will require community effort and a personal dedication to growing your own food, but with the right tools and knowledge, urban agriculture has the potential to make a real impact on urban areas around the nation.